Yeah, right. This all for that. Upstairs? Well, that's the jujitsu or whatever. Oh, the flashing lights in the windows? I thought that, I know flashing open signs and things like that are not allowed in town.
It's just packed.
I'd like to call to order the Landmarks Commission meeting for November 27th, 2023. The time is currently 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
P. Lynch,
Yes.
Dave Kirkcraft,
Here.
Rich Dudley here, Roger White,
Here,
Dr. Scott Kelly,
Here.
Whit Wardell,
Here.
Linda Bovee.
I'd like to make a motion, we excuse Linda Boving.
Second.
Roll call.
Pete Lynch,
Yes.
Rich Dudley, yes, Dave Kirkcraft,
Yes.
Dr. Scott Kelly,
Yes.
Roger White,
yes.
Whit Wardell.
Yes.
I'd like to get an approval of minutes for the October 23rd, 2023 Landmarks meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of October 23rd.
I'll second.
Roll call, Pete Lynch,
Yes.
Dave Kirkcraft,
Yes.
Rich Dudley, abstain, Roger White,
Yes,
Dr. Scott Kelly,
Yes.
Whit Wardell.
Yes.
Pending applications.
The first application on tonight's agenda is CA 23-046. The address is 121 East Waterloo Street. The requests this evening are for 2 new storm doors on the east and west side of the home and a new standing seam metal roof off of the rear addition onto the home. This residential home was constructed around 1880. In the 1930s, the narrow horizontal siding that was on the home was covered in the wood shake shingles that's currently on the home. The rear porch was converted into an enclosed kitchen in the 1930s as well. The kitchen area is the area the applicant's looking to replace the metal roof that is currently on it. Here's photographs of the east and western doors on the home. One door, the applicant notes, leads into the kitchen area, a door into a living area. They're looking to install storm doors on both the doors. The dining room area, the door here they're showing is 30 inches wide. We'll have a sash so you can open it and close it for a screen. And then the one on the living room will be a full light door. Won't have the screen option, split screen option, excuse me. When looking at the kitchen area with the roof they're looking to replace, I had asked the applicant to provide some photographs of what that existing metal roof looked like. There's some dimensions here showing the seams are 24 inches on center. It is a hidden fastener standing seam product. A thinner gauge, they're having some leaking issues on the one end. They're looking to replace that with an 1.5 inch snap lock standing seam panel that's pre-finished in black. That new panel system is 19 inches on center, so just a little shorter in width than what was on the home previously. If there's any questions from the commission, I'll be glad to help answer. Again, got photographs here of the doors and roof, and product specs are in your packet a little clearer than on the screen here.
Andrew, there's a close-up of the doors here, but are they on the side and rear of the house? Do we know?
I believe they're both on the sides. One's on the east side of the house, one's on the west side of the house.
Is the applicant present? Yes. If you wouldn't mind stepping up to the podium, please, and sign in. both of these doors going to be white, sir?
Yes,
Okay. That might be
there
in here
was
somewhere, but it
storm
is.
doors on there previous, but they're wooden, and they were rotted. So I'm just trying to get some doors on there to keep the thresholds from, getting.
So which one of these doors is going to have that full view glass?
That one there.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I like the idea that you're still gonna be able to see the door behind the new storm door.
Yes, it was my mom's house, so she's no longer here, but that house means a lot to me. And she passed that down to my brother and I, and so there's a lot of sentimental value to it. So we were just glad to get it painted. So my guy that's doing the roof and things, he's right here. If you have any questions with, about it?
Apologize, got stuck in traffic.
That's all right.
Thanks for coming.
Are those doors, are they aluminum or the storm
Steel.
doors? Steel? Okay.
And it's a standard steel standing seam?
No, I'm talking about the doors.
Oh, the doors.
the doors.
Sorry, the
Yeah.
doors are aluminum.
Aluminum?
Yes,
Okay.
sir, sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
Switching over to the standing seam,
Yes,
I know this shows a 16-inch panel. Andrew said it's a 19-inch, is that correct?
does it?
Well, that's what we were told.
Yeah, okay. So when I was out on the property side, I measured the panels, and then I pulled that offline. They were 2x4s and this and this. I apologize for mismeasured a bit. But those are standard measurements for standing seam today. I even after this called around a few other manufacturers, and they're all pretty standard, just the basic of what we define. And honestly, folks, gentlemen, this roof is a very flat roof, so from the ground, you can't even see the top of it. And we're putting the closest thing you could possibly find on this roof, and it's a true standing seam.
Okay, so there's no ribs in between the seam, the
No,
standing
sir.
seams?
No.
Okay. Do you know what the pitch is for that roof?
The pitch on that roof is probably like a 312, maybe.
Okay,
It's very low pitch.
okay. And there's no exposed fasteners?
None
Right.
whatsoever. I promise you that, none whatsoever.
And again, I'm sorry, are we sure that the roof is a 19-inch panel, or is it a 16 like presented
This is
here?
going to be what the picture shows you. Yeah,
Okay, so it's going to be a
I
16.
apologize.
That's all right.
He's
Okay, yeah, I see it.
19.
All right.
But to be, 100% upfront with you, even if this roof was a 812, we take that panel off and put this panel on, you would never see or know the difference if you didn't know any better. And it's the only thing we can get.
And you said it's gonna be black, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Which we replaced the main house roof, it's black. We replaced the rubber roof, so it's going to 100% blend in, it's going to look really good on that property. It'll last 30, 40 years for you guys.
Does anyone else have any further questions?
I'll make a motion to approve application CA-23-046 as stated.
I'll second.
Roll call, P. Lynch,
Yes.
Lou Wardell,
Yes.
Dr. Scott Kelly,
Yes.
Roger White,
Yes.
Rich Dodd, yes, Dave Kirkhope.
Yes.
Thank you.
We appreciate everything you did.
Okay, thanks.
The next application on tonight's agenda is CA 23047. Address is 50 Water Street. The request this evening is to replace the masonite siding with new 4.5-inch Dutch lap vinyl siding. Up on the screen is a photograph of the front of this home. The Franklin County Auditor has this home listed as being constructed in 1942. Our historical inventory forms don't detail the homes in this kind of corner pocket neighborhood. There's a couple neighborhoods that were added in 2003 to the Old Town District. The original surveys from the late 80s, or excuse me, early 80s don't capture some of these properties. This property's never been before the Landmarks Commission. The applicant is seeking approval to replace this existing siding with a new 4.5-inch Dutch lap vinyl siding. Up on the screen is a photograph you can see here from 2021 from Franklin County Auditor. You can kind of get some hints of the damage that the applicant has provided more detailed photographs of in subsequent slides here. There's probably 20 plus pictures the applicant has provided you guys in your packet. I've just put a couple of them up on the screen here showing some of the deterioration to that siding. The applicant indicated that they were unable to find siding that matched what's up on the house now. So they're looking to do a full replacement. With the replacement, they would like to keep the shutters that are on the home. That's noted in the application, unless the commission feels otherwise. But for the new siding itself, they're looking at doing a style crest, 4.5-inch textured Dutch lap that would be in a graphite gray. The windows have been replaced previously, as they don't have to do anything with the window trim. This is only for a siding replacement. And the applicant's here if you have any questions.
Andrew, the trim that was done before, is it all coil wrapped?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see some of it here on this window. And some of the photos the applicant provided, you can see it a little clearer.
Looks like all the fascia soffit and everything looks to be metal. Is the applicant present?
Yeah.
Great. If you could sign in, please.
This is the color as well?
Yes.
Nathan, is that a sample of the color or the siding you want to use as well?
Yes, both.
Both, okay.
Yeah, that'd be the exact thing right there.
So you're looking to do a lap siding. If you look at this photo here, see that seam right there that goes at a 45? That's what makes it a Dutch lap. That doesn't have that seams. That's the only reason why I'm
Okay.
asking.
Yeah, that's the exact sample that the contractor gave me, what it'll be.
Just a lap, not a Dutch lap. Correct?
Yes.
And that looks wider than 4.5. Was that probably 5 feet?
Oh, no, I think it's 4.5.
Is it 4.5?
Like a 4, really. Yep.
It says 4.5 on the spec sheet.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Well, of course, it also says Dutch lap.
Andrew, if you could refresh my memory, the house that's right beside this, I think's been through here, and the only other house I think that in this neighborhood was closer to 33, where they added vinyl to their garage only because it was already on the house. Is that correct?
Yes, and I looked back through my records and I couldn't find, and not saying there isn't one in the Old Town area, but I couldn't find another house that had a masonite siding on it in the Historical Preservation District. That alone I thought was a little unique. The homes in this area are kind of varying in ages. I would say this one's probably one of the newer homes in 1942. Some of them up Highland Avenue, just there to the left, are older than this. But yeah, there's been a couple homes in this area that have had new siding put on the last 8 or 10 years.
Okay. Have you looked into something that matches the existing style a little closer, like a hardy product or
I've
cementuous
looked,
siding more closer to an
Everybody I've
8-inch
talked
lap?
to said they recommend vinyl. They said that deteriorated, they can't fix that, so. Everybody steered me toward vinyl, so. I haven't done a ton of research on it, but every contractor I've talked to has went the vinyl route, so.
Nathan, are they pulling off all the existing siding
No,
or are they
they're gonna-
sealing it?
Yeah, they're gonna wrap it. They're gonna wrap it and then cover it with the vinyl.
They're not pulling it off?
No.
Okay. Typically, we do not approve vinyl siding either in historic or preservation district. I would personally like to see this replaced a little more like for like. I would recommend a cementuous siding if possible, something like James Hardy. For me, I cannot approve vinyl.
Are those shutters, are they wood or are they vinyl?
They're vinyl.
They're vinyl.
Yep. They've been painted.
Actually, the fascia and the soffit on here actually look to be wood still, do you know?
Yeah, it's wood too.
It
They're
is
gonna-
wood,
They're gonna
yeah.
do that as well.
They're wanting to do that in vinyl as well?
I think in vinyl, maybe that he said something, I'm not sure if it's vinyl exactly, but he said something that's very less maintenance. Because it's starting to rot a little bit out too and chip.
I would have to agree with Pete that I would much rather see this replaced with something like hardy board or something. It's got the durability and stuff too, and it's just more of a, can finish it off better.
Well, see, I mean, I agree with you guys, but my thought is, since this is more of a natural product, even though it's a masonite, it's still a pressed wood.
Sure.
I was looking at going something like for this, something natural, instead of vinyl.
Sure, I mean, a cedar siding or something like that, that's gonna look a lot like what's here. Don't necessarily wanna lock someone into wood. It's not exactly wood. It's a little closer to cardboard, I think.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Plus, I'm thinking a lot of the deterioration on the bottom boards might be to the fact that the grate is almost right underneath that siding. I mean, typically, you'd like to see at least 8 inches. But when it
On
snows,
most of the house, there's a pretty decent gap between, and has been for a while, but
Andrew, can we flip through a couple other pictures of the exterior, please?
These are the only ones I have on my
That's it?
slide, yeah.
Just those
There's
two?
more in your physical packet.
Oh, I guess there's a bunch here. What's plans for the shutters? Are they vinyl currently?
no, yeah, yep, they'll stay.
They are vinyl?
Vinyl, plastic, but.
The
they
one,
seem more like a plastic
the one shutter by the door shows a lot of damage. I just wondering if you're gonna replace shutters, or if they're damaged.
I'll probably replace all of them, those will all come off since they've been painted, they're all chipping. So I'd like to put brand new ones up, rather than put those back. Or do none at all, whatever you guys are okay with.
And is our vinyl for sure? That one to the left of the door almost looks like a wood shutter, the way it looks to be peeling.
well, that's what I thought.
They're all vinyl to my knowledge.
They'd just be old and brittle. Look, they've been painted vinyl.
They've been
That's
painted,
probably-
yeah,
that's probably-
they're-
Probably what
They're
I'm seeing
chipping
there.
pretty bad.
I will just reiterate what I said before. I'd like to see something a little closer to a match on here. And the shutters to stay, if at all possible.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's, still has wood soffits and fascia, is a plus as well. Those can be replaced with a different type of material as well, other than being wrapped with metal. Typically don't allow any windows to be covered up with aluminum coil, which is what, I imagine that's the plan. If they're gonna do it, they're gonna cover all that up.
Yeah.
Then the house would have corner boards with the, the house doesn't have corner boards, but
It
with
would
the,
if it's got vinyl
yeah.
lap siding going on it.
I mean, even with hardy, you're gonna have
Right.
corner boards. Well, I agree with what you guys said about keeping it a natural material.
You willing to look at a different type of siding other than vinyl on this?
I can look into it.
We can table this until the next meeting if you'd like to do that,
Okay.
bring something else back for
Yeah,
us.
I can do that.
Would we like to talk to the applicant about the height of the panels versus, or not just material? Like,
Those look like a 10.
Right.
It's at least an 8-inch. If you do a cementuous, you can do an 8-inch lap.
Okay.
That's as big as it goes. Well, with a cementuous, there's a product called True Exterior. They make a boral siding that comes in some really big laps as well. It's a fantastic product. It's a little bit pricey, but it lasts forever.
What was it called?
It's True Exterior.
True Exterior.
Boral, it's a poly ash product, byproduct of the coal industry.
Okay.
It takes full ground contact. I mean, you can literally put it right on the ground. It's not going to rot. I've been using it for the last few years. It's really, it's got a smooth grain wood texture on one side and a rougher grain texture on the other, and really acts and looks a lot like wood.
You paint that, Pete?
Yes, it has to be painted. It doesn't come pre-finished like James Hardy or Allura.
Okay.
Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we table CA 23047.
Second?
We'll call Ray Wardell,
Yes.
Dr. Scott Kelly,
Yes.
Roger White,
Yes.
Rich Dowdy, yes, Dave Kirkhoff.
Yes.
Pete Lynch.
Yes. See you next month.
All right, thank you.
you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Nathan, I'll have this audio on the website tomorrow. That way you can listen back to like the product types, that way you don't have to try to remember it all.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
More important to you.
Thank you.
The next application on tonight's agenda is CA 23048. The address is 8 South High Street. The applicant is requesting approval for some front facade details on this renovation project. Back in September, the applicant came before Landmarks Commission to request removing the marble facade and selective demo on the front facade of the building to uncover the existing, the previous design for the building from the early 1900s photographed on the right. The commission also at that time approved the demolition of the detached ATM located behind the building. Both those have been done. For those that kind of was throughout town before the tarp and scaffolding went up, if you got a chance to take a look at what that building looked like after the marble was removed, it was probably less than ideal. So the applicant went ahead and removed the entire front face of the building off. They're looking to reconstruct it all to match the photograph here on the right. Through that design process, the applicant went through a series of photographs of kind of what that building looked like over time to help their architects design the scale of the redesign of the building to make it appropriate. So here's some photographs I have. You can see the earliest one from 1907 here in the corner. You have some here in the 50s that shows some transformation where the knee wall was changed to glass block. Some of the details for the front entryway have been kind of enclosed. And then when they first marbled it for the Canal Winchester Bank, you could see this big canopy awning they had on top of it. If you go back to this photo here, you can see the fake marble they put on top of that to cover the awning supports. This is just kind of showing kind of what that progress looked like over time. It really showed, and when they did the demo, they were just covering everything up along the way. So the applicant is looking to, again, redo the whole front facade to match the 1907 style photograph. With that, they are requesting to do new stone capping, a new 5-pond trim to match the historic detailing, stone trim where it's to match the existing profiles, new bronze windows and doors, a new brick color that's as close as a match as they could get to the historic brick. A sample of the brick that was pulled off the building was passed around with a cut sheet of the new brick they want to do and the new mortar. And then just a kind of rendering staff helped them with here, showing what that color would look like on the building with the dark bronze storefront system. For the details for the 5-pon and stone, the applicant has provided these details A, B, C, and D. Kind of going through them here, you can see some of the profiles for that 5-pon crown molding, the tooth detail, the cast stone panels at the columns. Then when looking at kind of a side profile view of that crown, you can see the dimensions that are provided here, kind of showing how that will be constructed. Again, the architect used the historic photographs to try to scale everything from photos on what the appropriate sizing was. If you have any questions for me, I'd be glad to help answer. Applicants are here to answer any questions you have.
So does it look like the window, the aluminum, is it aluminum bronze? Is that what it was?
Bronze trim on windows and doors.
That's probably 4.5 inches. Like on detail E, and it just shows the bottom, the knee wall with the metal frame for the window.
So one of the things that I had asked the applicant to do is when they get more details on the windows, to come back to present those finer details for the sizes. This is the color they're looking at doing. They're just having a hard time finding a window manufacturer that can make this size of a window. So that I think is still coming back to you guys for review.
And whether it's clear glass or, I wouldn't think it would be tinted or anything like that. But
Todd, I'm sure you've looked at these old pictures a ton of times. How do you think these windows, the big windows, were originally constructed? I'm assuming they were probably steel in order to hold that span,
They were.
and then you had a functional.
What was torn out was put in 1952.
Can I get you to the mic, Todd, just so I can
Oh.
pick you up?
So I can't speak to what the original windows were, except from what you can see in the photos. The photo with the glass block was probably 1945. The photo with the marble was 1952. And then the lower photo that we're trying to replicate was actually built in about 1885. The photo is 1908.
So what is it, I'm assuming this is some sort of, like a tube light steel, is that what you're thinking on this, or are we trying to be a
I
little more?
can't answer that yet.
Okay.
The architect has got a window manufacturer that supposedly specializes in older buildings that we'll bring to you as soon as we have them in hand.
Okay, so we're not really approving any windows or door.
If we could walk
Trim.
out of here tonight with brick and limestone, that would be
Okay.
one of our goals. The 5-pon, we'll submit actual samples of it.
Are you finding a 5-pon that's as close as possible, or are you actually having one put together? Because I know.
It's pretty close,
Okay.
but we'll get pieces of it and bring it in and show you.
It's looking great. I think the brick is probably about as close as you're gonna get,
I
I would
agree.
imagine. And I like this, the warmer mortar color with the lighter brick, I think goes well. It's my personal opinion here.
and then the limestone will just be natural limestone color, I assume.
Yes, it would not be cast stone, it'd be limestone.
It'll be true limestone,
Yes.
not, okay.
I think it calls it a buff stone or something.
Did you see-
Buff color? Is that?
Pardon me?
Is it calling for a buff color? I thought I saw it said.
On the
buff.
stone?
Yes.
I
Is it
don't-
just more of a natural?
I think it
gray
should be
limestone?
natural, that's what was on it.
Where did I see it?
Yeah, it says rock cast, not stone or similar.
Yeah.
And will the coping on the top, will it match that in color?
Yeah, it'll be
Trying to tie all
limestone,
those
limestone
together.
also. And then any of the step flashings will be copper.
As far as we're not really wanting to get into the panel molds and all that kind of stuff tonight?
No, I mean, I just don't, we don't have the detail. We have a meeting day after tomorrow with the architects on site to work through some of that stuff, but well, I don't really have the answers for that
Okay.
tonight.
So the cast stone is that a brand?
No, cast stone is actually concrete.
So it's not true
It's a
limestone?
manufactured stone versus a natural stone.
Okay.
That's what it says, but you're actually putting real limestone in? Okay.
Yes.
So it will not be cast.
Okay, so it will not be cast stone.
If you guys can excuse me for a minute, I'm making my pen making a mess. I'll be right back, please.
He's writing so hard, he smashed the pen.
It happened during the last application, and I was just laughing at him, but it's not significantly worse.
Todd, do you see that note in here, it says smooth cast stone for this detail?
I called him day before yesterday and told him that needs to be, or Friday, that needs to be limestone.
Okay.
So everything that says cast stone will be real limestone, even the base of
Correct.
those columns. That detail D. I agree with Pete, that brick is very close. It might be a shade off, but it looks nice.
Can't get much better. Bench was here.
Put my name on that.
Well, if there's no more questions, I can make a motion.
Can we, I know you're not making any decisions on this, but can we talk a little bit about the trim as you move forward with designs?
Sure.
Okay. When you look at that original picture, you can kind of see through into that entryway. It's a very bulky, wood-framed, very historic storefront of there. I'm sure you're trying to recreate that as closely as possible. Aside from the big picture windows, do we plan on using something in there that at least resembles wood to try to build that out to look like a wood
In the entrance?
facade? Yes.
Actually, the entrance is still there.
Oh, it's all still there?
Yeah. Now, whether or not it's the existing one, I can't tell you, but the configuration of that entrance is there still right
Okay.
now. And it's in cherry on the inside, and it was painted white on the outside.
Okay.
So Todd, all of this detail right here, that's all still there?
I can't tell you that the 1800s detail is still there, but at least from the 1950s, it's still there. And we could be, I mean, if you guys can stick your head anytime you want and take a look, we can show you what's there. The trouble we ran into is it's taken those window openings and the door opening and lowered everything 2.5 feet, set another line of steel. So part of the problem we had to try to make things work was tearing out the infill that they had put in 1950. They narrowed the windows, narrowed the entrances, and lowered the head heights of everything.
They more lined up with the existing doors in the background there, didn't they?
Yes. If you notice when you go by, the window that faces the wigwam is the correct window opening. And that's what we're replicating on the front. That in there, right.
So the two entrance doors, one for the grocer and one for the bank, will be two dedicated doors, just like on the picture?
That's what our plan is, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even if our lease would just be with one company, we'd still propose the two entrances.
Okay.
So really today, we're just after trying to approve all the brick color and 5-pond detail in the limestone.
Yes. Yeah, we would bring in more detail on the cuts through the storefront and actual shop drawings on the glass in the storefront and the 5-pond samples.
Hey, I thought we were just approving the brick, the grout, and the coping.
Yeah.
We filed for everything. I
Okay.
just said that we would be, if you wanted to see more on anything, we'd really be happy with masonry and limestone, if possible.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve application CA-23-048 as presented, but with a couple specifications that we are talking about actual limestone. And the brick color that's presented is good, grout color presented is good. And right now, we'll just say we're approving the 5-prong product, but you're gonna come back in and show us samples.
Right.
Get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, Whit Wardell,
Yes.
Roger White,
Yes.
Dr. Scott Kelly,
Yes.
Bruce Dauber, yes, Dave Pirka,
Yes.
Pete Lynch.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Thanks, guys.
You guys want your samples, Todd?
Yeah.
And I went ahead and I starred the grout color on it.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
The next application on tonight's agenda is CA 23049. The address is 44 South High Street. The request this evening is for new decorative columns on the front porch. This property was originally constructed as a residential home in 1865. It was converted to a funeral home in 1945. 1972, the large front porch that was on the single-family home was removed, and this colonial-style front design was installed. And in 1973, there was an addition to the north side of the building that was added. The applicant this evening is seeking approval to remove the 5 existing damaged wood columns on the front porch and install 5 new poly 20-inch round columns. The details have been provided in your packet for review. Back in Labor Day, I believe it was this column here on the corner. It fell off the building into the street. Going through and looking at immediate kind of structural repairs, this one is in very bad shape as well. Talking to the applicants, at some point in time, the base of these columns had rotted out, and they took the base off and poured concrete that went right up to the wood to kind of hold it up. Well, that concrete held moisture and rotted out all the columns, so they're looking to replace them all. The applicant has provided details here. This shows what the existing condition looks like with that existing concrete base. And then the detail of what they want to replace it with to make it more appropriate than what was there, what's currently there. Again, the 5 columns that are shown will be replaced. Here's the detail for the cap and base they are planning on installing. And then just some details from the manufacturer that shows some more information for you guys. If you have any questions for me, I'm glad to help answer. Applicant is here to answer any questions you have.
Stepping up. Thank you.
So we just sign it, Pat Reed.
So is it permacast that you're putting back?
Yes.
Or, no, it's not called that, it's just called what, okay, permacast. Is that like a concrete? The permacast?
It's
the
fiberglass.
permacast?
It's a fiberglass.
Fiberglass, okay.
Yes, fiberglass.
So the existing concrete bases that have been put in there, it looks like you're going to remove those entirely?
Yeah, they're cracking and they need to be replaced. It's-
And what they'll be replaced with are the standard capitals that come with these columns? Looks like we're trying to replace like for like as close as possible.
And they're fluted, just like the current ones.
Are they the same size?
Mhm.
Both 20s?
Yep.
5 altogether?
Yeah.
Was there any other damage done when that support came out?
Surprisingly, no.
Surprisingly, no. It's a surprise.
You would-
A lot going on
The
there.
roof stayed plumb, it didn't, the gable didn't even move. And I
can
think
tell
what
you
we're
that
gonna put
my-
up is probably a little bit stronger than what we had.
My 4-year-old and 7-year-old have been very concerned and drive by just to see what's going on with the house on that
I
building.
know.
so-
I know. We've got the cones out there still on the tape, just for, for people to beware.
It's a fun game we play.
When are we looking to get this done? Probably
Well,
As soon as
once
possible.
approved, I'll just, put the order in and
ready to
get the
go.
ball moving. I got like, the contractor, Mr. Bailey's here to answer any questions you may have for him.
Yeah, the applicant's already submitted their building permit process, so that's being reviewed right now. That way they can get it replaced as soon as possible.
Is the current concrete, it's a concrete deck
Yeah.
slab
yes.
there? Will the new capitals cover where the concrete bases are now? Or is there gonna have to be any additional work done there
I don't think so.
to the slab? It will cover. I think it looks great.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it looked nice.
Yep.
Does anyone have any further questions? I'd like to make a motion to approve application CA-23-049 as presented.
Second,
Roll call, Pete Lynch?
Yes.
Dave Kirkcraft?
yes.
Rich Dobda, yes. Roger White?
Yes.
Dr. Scott Kelly?
Yes.
Whit Wardell?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you
Good
very
luck.
much.
Thank you.
In terms of old, new business, the December Landmarks meeting is when we usually move because of the Christmas holiday. I'm requesting we move that meeting to the week before Tuesday, the 19th. 7 o'clock, still in this room. I want to make sure that worked for most everybody in this room before I confirmed it and posted it out on our website so people knew and got a hold of the applicants that submitted already.
Works for me. Fine for me.
Fine for me.
Okay, it's official, 12/19, 7 PM.
You haven't been here in 6 months.
I hope by that meeting, I'll be able to put together the statistics of what you guys have looked at so far this year. You've had a lot of applications. I think you guys have said this before, but you've had a lot of applications where people have done work and asked for forgiveness. So I want to maybe put something about that in the report, if I find time to do that in the next couple weeks. But you guys have been really busy. I mean, nearly 50 applications so far this year, so you're at 49 right now. So you've been really busy this year. Busier than Planning and Zoning Commission, oddly enough. So, good job, guys. I don't have anything else for old new business.
Andrew, the place on Liberty Street, is it ready to open?
They are still finalizing their construction on the inside. They're pretty close. I think they want to be done before the year's over.
I've noticed that they've lit it up at night, and it's pretty lights up that street quite a bit.
Yeah, that building didn't stand out before. It was definitely, looked vacant all the time, so I think it would be good to activate that building and get some use out of it.
Anything else? I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Time is 7:45.
Second. Roll call, Pete Litch.
Yes.
Dave Faircraft.
Yes.
Rich Tubby, yes. Roger White.
Yes.
Dr. Scott Kelly.
Yes.
Will Wardell.
Yes.